William Hutchinson, the 12-year-old soldier. When people think of the First World War, many visualize the trenches and the chemical warfare. One aspect that is often forgotten is the stories of the individual soldiers and the sacrifices that they made. The story that I will be discussing today is that of Private William Hutchinson, a 12-year-old boy that made his way onto the front lines of one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history. William was born in Erith, Kent, England on the 15th of January 1904. When he was young, Hutchinson and his family moved to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. On the 23rd of June 1916, the 12-year-old 4'5" Hutchinson made his way to a recruiting station in Vancouver, where he enlisted in the war to end all wars. On his attestation papers, he is described as having a fair complexion, light brown hair, and hazel eyes, has no occupation, and lists his mother as his next of kin. Unlike many underage soldiers, Hutchinson decided not to lie about his age on his attestation papers to increase his chances of being accepted into the armed forces. Despite this, he was able to serve in the 211th Battalion until he was discharged on the 2nd of December 1916. Reason given, he was underage. While he was discharged from service on paper, records pinpoint that Private Hutchinson actually did make it overseas and served in France for several months. How? Well, records indicate that he joined his former comrades despite being discharged from the military on their ship to the United Kingdom, essentially making himself a stowaway, although, according to records, he was viewed to be the 211th Battalion's, quote, mascot. It would later be found out that he played a much larger role than a mascot. Once he arrived in England, he was transferred to the 8th Battalion, the Canadian Railway Troops, which was formed on the 8th of March 1917. On the 20th of April 1917, William and his comrades proceeded to France. When he was serving, his mother heard that he was in France and she pleaded for his return to Canada. As a result, the now 14-year-old Hutchinson was discharged on the 31st of March 1918, after spending 5 months in France and 1 year and 9 months in overall service. His character and conduct are listed as very good on his discharge certificate. He would later enlist in the military for post-war service on the 10th of February 1919 and was discharged on the 25th of July 1919. Reason given, demobilization, meaning that his service was no longer required. There is no evidence on what he did in the post-war years, but we do know that Private William Hutchinson passed away on the 23rd of November 1969 at the age of 65. Private Hutchinson is just one example of the countless underage soldiers that risked their lives to defend the integrity of the British Empire. While there were several 16 and 17-year-old Canadian soldiers that made it to the front lines, 12-year-old Hutchinson is a rare example of preteen soldiers that made it overseas. I have viewed thousands and thousands of attestation papers for Canadian World War I soldiers, and I have yet to find a soldier that was as young as Hutchinson. His story is a truly unique one. Thank you for watching this video. I decided to change things up a bit and dive into some history-related content instead of just strictly news and politics. I'm planning on making more of these videos in the future. Take care, everyone. Bye.